Can Spencer Lee win the Olympics?
I think yes. I think Spencer Lee can win the Olympics. I think there's certainly some alarming moments in his qualification process. I mean, what are our takeaways from the Zhao match? First off, like, what were your thoughts watching that?
So it gives me both confidence and a little bit of hesitation in Spencer as well. Hesitation, obviously, because this is a 1-point match that was very much in the balance late. And Spencer got taken down multiple times. He got forward once, even against a guy who is not going to the Olympics, who is not on the level of...
He's going.
Oh, yes, you're right. He came back. I'm sorry. But of a guy who's not on the level of Yuguyev, Higuchi, Amichich. So on that aspect, it gives you hesitation, you know. But at the same time, Spencer got down by, was it 4 or 5 points?
6-1?
Was it 6-1 or 6-2?
Yeah.
And came back in the blink of an eye, because he is the best at parterre I have ever seen. I have never seen anything like it. His ability, where it's almost a guarantee, if he gets a takedown with space to work, he is going to get a turn, and likely more than one.
Yeah.
It's unreal. So in that aspect, it gives you confidence that he came back and had the ability to come back and hold off Zhao late, who was making a march to come back. I think Spencer Lee can win the Olympics, but it's crazy because it seems like he can 10-0 anybody, or he can lose to a large portion of the field as well if he doesn't get those, 4, 6, 8 point sequences.
But there's just not been a match he's had where he doesn't get those, it seems.
Exactly.
And also, I mean, the Zhao match, if he improves and just stays assertive and intense for 6-minute matches and just baseline, if he improves his baseline, I think he will win. But he's giving up some leg attacks that just don't. You watch it, you're like, no one on our team gives up leg attacks where guys just blow through him. He's completely stationary, right? So that is an alarming thing that makes you that guy he's not tired. These things are just happening to him, and so
it looked like he was standing a little upright in his stance a few times. That was kind of when was it Zhu?
Let's call him Zhao, just
Zhao.
for uniformity.
Was able to kind of like blow through him like that. Yeah. So, it's stuff that you feel like he can clean it up.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yes.
It's just like, why? I wonder what was happening. Like, why?
I don't think he respected that guy coming in. I don't think he thought this guy's gonna be able to blast me from space like this. I don't think he thought this guy was gonna be that fast, that powerful. I think he surprised him a little bit, and that can happen. And
I don't know how much his knees are in his mind and stuff. Like, does part of him want guys to shoot on him so he can counter score without having to take his own penetration shots? And that's why he's a little upright. Like,
I don't think so. He took a lot of shots in this match. That guy, like, he tried his high crotch a few times and the guy shut him down. I don't think it's that. I think, man, if you're worried about your knees, which I don't know how much that is or isn't in the back of his mind, but if your hands are solid, then you're not having to fight. I mean, I don't think you want a guy on your leg. That's how you've had injuries, is with guys on there.
yeah.
So I think, for all the more reason to.
You've also seen him just crush guys when they get in on him.
Yeah. But I think less so now.
Yeah.
I think we're going to see that less and less. At the level here, you don't want guys on your legs. And Yanni's talked about this. Yanni's talked about this. I mean, that's one of the best counter guys we've ever seen. And he said that's the main point of emphasis. I got to keep guys off my legs. You can't let them get in.
Play with fire. Sometimes you get burned.
Yeah. So, I think here's the thing with Spencer and why he can win the Olympics. He takes down everyone in a match. There's not a match he has where he doesn't get a takedown. Okay? He gets a turn nearly every time he gets a takedown. If he gets it in the middle of the match, he's going to get a turn. No one has that threat at 57. There are guys that can go takedown to turn. They're guys that are maybe better in other areas than Spencer, but no one has the ability to end a match the way Spencer does. And that's why he's a threat to win the Olympics at 57.
So here, were you gonna?
The only other thing I was going to say is, in every single timeout, I feel like we're getting a better Spencer Lee. And what do you think is going to happen between now and August? He's gonna get that much better, that much focus. He's qualified. He's the guy. And I think by the time August rolls around, we're gonna have a monster at 57.
So I guess my apprehension is, we talked about the tier 1 of this weight is Stevan Miocic, Ray Higuchi, Aguyev, and Abakarov, and all those guys are world champions, or Aguyev's an Olympic champion.
Yeah. Spencer
has beaten Gilman, who, I don't know, would you put Gilman in that tier with those 4 guys? Because he's never beaten any of them.
He's up there. I'll say this, or I want to ask John actually. I personally put that weight as the toughest weight internationally to win. But I want John's perspective. What do you think about that?
I don't know if I'd agree with it. It's the toughest weight to win. Maybe 74 with Sidakov and Dake up at the top. But the depth of it, where you have those 5 guys, he's going to have to go through 2 of them for sure. Mm-hmm. And so I feel like with the Olympics, the way that guys prepare for it, and just you always see a match where you feel like it's closer than it should be. I feel like Spencer's going to be in a spot where it's going to be in the second period, it's going to be like 3-2. Somebody's going to be able to like avoid getting taken down in the middle of the mat. And he's going to be in a spot where he's going to have to do something at the end of the match that we haven't seen him had to do yet, right? Maybe against Gilman a little bit, but I feel like the margins were a little bit wider.
He had to go get it against Gilman in that second match. He was down. He had to go get it. But yeah, these second periods are still a little spooky. The 9-0 against Zane, 1-13-6, up 8-0 against Nico, 1-8-0 at the break. Gilman, et cetera, et cetera. So it's still a thing. Zhao, it felt like, man, you could take this guy out. You got in on one single and you massacred this guy. If you get on top one more time, you could end the match. So yeah, I mean, the good news is what you have to clean up is really right in front of you. It's not something that is impossible to clean up.
And this is a classic example of like the thing that Spencer's talked about, that it's happened to him his whole life, where like he doesn't go out there and text someone and everyone's like, oh, what's wrong with Spencer? And like this, we're not saying that, because I saw some people in the chat insinuating like that we're saying that Zane looked awesome and Spencer didn't, which is not true. Like Spencer looked unreal.
If Spencer didn't have the close match with Zhao, it would be like Olympic champion. Yeah. Right. I feel like the expectations would be so high. Now it's still like he can win the Olympics.
Yeah.
But
yeah,
there's 5 guys that can beat him.
Yeah.
And we'll see.
Well, part of the reason that kind of happens too is because, like I said, I have never seen anything like Spencer Lee's ability to turn people and to 10-0 the best in the world, or dominate the best in the world, while simultaneously being in these really close matches with guys who are really good, but maybe not the top tier in the world. Spencer Lee, and he's not like Sajlayev, who has a really good gut. Spencer Lee does it cross wrist tilt, trap arm gut, lace, like anything. He can turn you from anywhere once he gets on top. It's unbelievable.
I feel like all these guys are probably like, all these college wrestlers are probably like, see, coach, he does it to everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's the thing, JD. It's like normally guys are known for, like Dake's known for his gut wrench, like great gut wrench, and Dayton is known for his trap arm, even though he has a good regular gut as well. But like he's so varied in his turns. There's really no safety there.
And I feel like nobody else has the ability, that like knockout punch, the ability to dominate the best in the world.
Yeah.
Like he has shown he has the ability to.
Yeah.
I'd love to go back and look at his matches that he's had over the last 6 months and see if there's anybody he hasn't been able to turn. Maybe Nico.
I think there was a Nico match where he didn't.
Yeah.
But I think he also did turn Nico in
He did.
other matches.
At the trials, I think
Yeah.
he did. Yeah. It's crazy. He can turn anybody.
The power he must have is just insane. Well, doesn't Jason Nolf tell the story like about like he's like someone was saying like someone told Jason, hey, if he has a bar on you and you're just flat on your belly, he will pin anyone in the world. And Jason like I guess was totally just no way, and they let Spencer do it, and he freaking pinned. Nolf's telling the story. He's like, he just straight up pinned me.
Spencer Lee is the pound for pound strongest wrestler in the world.
He's special.
Easily.
Well, and I think you leave this tournament with different levels of excitement for either of the guy or different reasons you're excited.